It affected it, of course, but not as much probably as in most of the world. We were quite quick on our feet. We were proactive, so I approached the Association of Icelandic Film Producers. They came to my office and we sat down for one day and we wrote a guideline, how to work during COVID. And we then sent it to the Directorate of Health, which then improved it and approved it. And so we made up like a system where they would have to approve every foreign production coming to Iceland. And then we worked with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, who gave like exemptions to producers coming from the US. And all in all, it went actually very well. And international projects this year, it was at least one feature. It was 9 TV series. Wow. The biggest one was The Challenge, which is a reality show from the US. And they were shooting for 9 weeks. And we had a doc feature, documentaries, 3 of those, I think, around 15 commercials and a few music videos and photo shoots. So this is just the international ones. But for Iceland, this was actually a record year. So it was maybe a little bit north of 15 feature and TV series, domestic shot in Iceland also this year. So actually, this was a busy year. Of course, some projects decided not to come due to the pandemic, but not because they couldn't come to Iceland, but mainly because there were other factors that were affecting it, like insurance and things like that. But some of those projects actually came because we were doing so well with the COVID pandemic, and the government has actually been handling that situation very well. So all in all, quite a favorable year, I would say, for Iceland. Yeah, we kind of created this like a bubble methodology, meaning that the foreign crew coming to Iceland, they did a COVID test in their home country prior to coming to Iceland. So they knew they were negative before they went on the plane. They landed in Iceland and took the first COVID test. And then they went from there straight to a hotel. And for these productions, they occupied the whole hotel. So that hotel became like a quarantine bubble. During the first 5 days, the crew members were allowed to go to a production office or production location to work, and then come back to the hotel. After those 5 days, they went to the second test. And if they were still negative, then they were fine. They could, interact with others and with like the Icelandic crew. So we were able to also keep it separate, the Iceland crew and the foreign crew. Just you could work in different zones, and everything like hand sanitizers and 2-meter rule and all that was, of course, respected. And I can tell you, during all those projects for the summer, we had none infection. So that actually surprised me. Of course, I was crossing my fingers and legs and everything, hoping it would work. It did. And I'm very glad about that, because, of course, security is number one for your staff, and you have to respect the people who are working next to you and those who maybe be visiting that day. And I saw a video of Tom Cruise being, very furious with his team about, how they were handling the situation on set. I absolutely agree with him. You have to show respect. you're trying to keep business going, and the people losing the jobs, and you cannot play around with those rules. You have to go directly what they say. So I was so absolutely, on board with Tom Cruise on that one. They came for many reasons. Of course, you had to fit the script, and you have to have the locations, and we have the 25% incentive, which is of course very important. But what we have most importantly is that we have security. We have a big country with few inhabitants, which gave us, the edge. In this case, we were able to work on a dramatic location, and there was no one there. And you were able to shut it down, and you were able to shut down the hotel just for your purposes. You just bought up the hotel. So we had that advantage that, big cities, they don't have that. And actually a few countries actually have that, how should I put it, this secureness that we have with all that land. We shut down the domestic productions for about 3 weeks, and then we implemented, the guidelines, and like I said before, we were able to shoot the whole year, record of domestic features and TV series shot this year, and yeah, and they just went very strictly to the guidelines, and actually most of the project they implemented even more, secure guidelines for the production. So it was a good year for domestic productions, absolutely. And I mean, the Icelandic film industry has been booming for the past, how should I put it, 10, 15 years. It's been improving in terms of quality and number of projects. And I think one of the reasons is that, we have all these international projects also coming to Iceland to shoot. And you have the same crew working on both the domestic and international. So there's a knowledge transfer. So you're always learning something new from those who are coming from abroad, and you use that knowledge and your skills to on your next Icelandic project. So yeah, and the infrastructure has also been building up. Post-production facilities. We have a big stage now in Reykjavik. Then we have a new incentive solely focused on recording in Iceland. So if you want to record your music score for your film score, you can do that in Iceland. And Netflix, for example, has been, and other studios have been using that. It's Symphony North, and we were busy actually this year doing film scores. And yeah, so all in all, the climate has been good for us. How should I put it? Goals. This is also an interesting word for me. What is a goal? You can probably set all the goals in the world and can do this and that and all that. I always have kind of in the back of my head what I want to do, but it's all about put your heart and mind into it and do your very best and hope that there will be a good outcome. And the Icelandic crew members are known for being hardworking people and do a good job. And that is the reason why we get studios and other producers coming again and again to shoot in Iceland, because they know what they're getting. They're getting quality. They're getting hardworking people with skills, and that is what counts for me. Personal goals. I never, I think, set a personal goal almost in my life. Very seldomly. I just try to be myself.